Okay guys, I'm going to continue painting. I've actually been working on trying to get a good magenta, kind of a magenta purple. So what I'm doing is, once the wash is dried, I'm mixing up that black color to go in there and add those cool, just to start bringing the life back into the particular piece that I'm working on. So right here, that's looking good. I really like this color. I've really been struggling to get a good kind of magenta-y, purpley color. Things would go brown. If you've watched my Green Goblin short series, I painted the Green Goblin, and it was really tricky to get that kind of purpley, pinkish red without it turning into brown. So I got a color that I'm liking working with, and it might be just a few different colors to make it look cool. Okay, and then some areas that I go into, you're adding some of those little marks and lines. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, like a little, that. Using the side of the brush to get the high points. Let me move this camera a little closer for you. Here we go. This way I can put the base on the table and hold it still. It's already hard enough to paint these things, but then when both hands are shaking, forget about it. And I'm using a mixture of Vallejo airbrush paint and then the regular model paint. See, and then when you come into these dark areas, this is where you can get some of those lines, like those comic book lines, that hatching. Yeah, this is looking cool. It's kind of a mixture of purple with some of the magentas, and then again we'll put the black in there. That comes later. Right now I'm just putting these flat colors in. And this stuff kind of dries more transparent than what you're seeing when I put it on there. And by the way, this is why I'm painting this in two separate pieces, so I can get into here and paint it without trying to work around the Magneto figure. There you go. Thank you guys for watching. Several of you have been following along. I wish I had finished this model quicker. We didn't get a chance to play with it in our game last night because I remembered it's in two pieces. You can't just have a cape floating around. That would be really lame. sometimes you don't realize until you back up away from it. Oh, did I go too far with the purple or with the pink or whatever? Is it getting too pink? But that's where you can just make washes, kick things down, and then try again. Here now, get some of this. I went and picked up this gray paper from Hobby Lobby today. So hopefully you're seeing things better. I think the last background was too light. This to me is easier on the eye and maybe complements what I'm painting so that you can see it better. So that's looking good right there. I'm really liking this first wave, and I want to work globally so that, you know, I don't go too far with this and then leave Magneto, and I'm trying to catch up with him. So let me get some of this color on him. Also, because I mixed a color and it's not out of the tube this way, I want to try to get some of this on other parts while I still can, so I'm not trying to match it later. Called, I learned this only a little while ago. I've been doing art kind of my whole life. Color harmony, where you're bouncing the colors throughout the piece. So here, you know, I'm putting some of this here, bounce around, put it over here. So a lot of the technical art terms, I'm still learning them. That's one of them, color harmony. So you see I'm bouncing around. And there's no way I could have painted this with that cape. Not well. So I'm glad I did that. So you can come this way. Because these are raised, you can take the edge of the brush, see? You can get them without going into the red. My youngest son played a game against my oldest, and he said, I am making a declaration that I am not going to play against the Hulk until I have Magneto. So I gotta paint this thing up. Okay, so I'm not gonna hit every part of this right now because I want to keep the video short and punchy. So I want to just show you the next thing I would do. So I'm going to go back around and probably detail more of that purplish magenta on things. But this red here is the perfect red for Magneto. It's this evil sun scarlet. So I have it here, and I already tried it in a couple places on the back of the model. But here, this is good color. It's almost got a little orange in it. Oh, here I'm painting around there, and somebody, the one guy cast the vote, and I agree with him. No underwear. We're gonna go with a pants version, and I agree. I don't think the model lends itself to it. Like I told you, the detailing isn't there, and the I just think it looks cooler. So again, most of the wash goes away. But you'll bring back things with the black. And then areas like this, you can kind of do some of those lines to break up the muscle, so it's not a straight line of shadow. See, like in this area here, you can go just add a little of that brokenness in there, and then it's not just a hard line. That's one of the things that's really helped to sell some of that comic book look as well. Yeah, we're at 12 minutes, just cruising along. So I'm making a couple of passes here where, you know, you put some on, you let it dry, you come back, hit it again to build it up. Lines. They're coming off there. Now we're really getting into some finer, you know, this is where things start to slow down, but you can see the difference between, you know, this area here, right, and then up here, where it's just kind of a mess. There's no definition of the muscles. So, you know, they've sculpted them there, and you're bringing them out. Oh, and then also, I have a post that I put in my community section on a sealer that I used, and one of the challenges I always had when sealing this, okay, you see how this is really shiny, right? All these washes are shiny, and then I'm putting some flat colors on top. Well, this sealer is called AK Ultra Flat, and it is the best sealer, especially for this look. I used to use Tester's dull coat, and no matter how much I tried, that dull coat would always be shiny or just have a slight shine to it. So let me move this down a little bit. So I watched a video, a guy did, I have the link to it, and you'll see the little test that I did in that community section. See, I'm coming in here now and really able to pull out that red in between. But I did some tests where I show you the original model with dull coat. I sprayed it with the ultra flat and it totally flattened everything out. So a lot of these shines and things that you see in there, when I'll finish these models, I'll spray them and then show you, and how much the dull coat helps to even everything out, flatten everything down. It actually makes it look more like a drawing. Just everything blends together and has a really neat look to it for these comic book figures. So like this seam in the pants, I can just like that. And don't worry about it if you missed some of it. You can either draw it back in later with black. You can use that pen technique if you really wanted to, or you can just paint it back in. So I try to not correct every mistake as I go. Sometimes you just want to keep moving, feel the progress, get it done, and then fix mistakes later if you even notice them. So you can really see it too, where you've missed, once you start rendering the muscles with your color, you start seeing where you didn't. It just stands out. There's no depth to it, or it's just too dark. It's just got that wash on it. So now, getting in here. He's really moving along now. He's looking cool. Okay, so yep, we're coming up on 20 minutes, so that's about 20 minutes of work. So all I did was get some of the flat colors on for Magneto in the purple areas and the red. I'm obviously going to be working on the base, the metal the rusty metal bar, his face, all kinds of good stuff. So this is just one phase. You keep the ball rolling, and until next time, keep painting and keep gaming.